Hello, everybody. I am just waiting for some people to come on as we get this going. I've been called to get on live with everything that's been going on in the world right now. Hello. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Hi, guys. So I have a small little window to talk because my husband and I just bought an RV to live in full time, and I am in Florida and it is raining like crazy. And if you've ever lived in an RV or been in one, when it rains, it's very loud. So, what I wanted to talk about is the energies. I want to talk about this so I can open up conversation for everybody to be able to talk about what the hell has been going on with our bodies and the world. Okay. Our personal lives, our outer lives, everything that's happening right now. You'll see that I post videos, I do energy updates. By the way, guys, I'm looking all around because I have TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram going. So that way I can pay attention to everybody and we can all have a little conversation here. We went through some massive blasts this week with the Schumann resonance recording the frequencies that were coming in. I know a lot of people have felt extremely tired. There has been a lot of nausea, a lot of purging that's been happening, lots of sleeping, lots of time like disappearing, right? So time's been disappearing. I've noticed that even yesterday, I guess was Friday, there was nowhere in my awareness at all in any way, shape, or form that I would have known that it was Friday. I thought it was Wednesday or Thursday. So I'm thinking, where did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday go? So if any of you have experienced the loss of time, I've been experiencing that. Hey guys, good to see you. Thanks for joining. We're doing current energies. We're going into a Capricorn full moon right now. So that's why I wanted to jump on here and talk. With the Capricorn full moon, I'm a Capricorn. It's a super grounded energy. It's also very in the finances. It's the will. It's like the goat. It's, you're climbing a mountain. It's the goat. It's the greatest of all time. Type of energy. And that's really what I'm feeling. Usually with a full moon, I start to feel super achy. So some people might start feeling aching in their bones, anxiety. There's a lot of stuff that's being lit up as we go through this time. And it's not just the full moon. Cool. Capricorns, let's go. I wore my moon necklace. I was going to wear my Capricorn necklace. I couldn't decide, and they don't go together. So anyways, that's what we're dealing with right now is all these different energies. So I definitely wouldn't mind if you guys wanted to post, comment, talk about anything that you're going through so we can share back and forth some of the things that are happening at this time. Now, we also have the whole, I'm going to be careful with what I say, but the tea thing that happened, okay, that's a big one. That everything's a mirror. So this is kind of what I wanted to get into with this. When we have energies like this and we have a full moon, okay, what it's doing is it's lighting everything up. You don't know that something exists unless it comes into your awareness. And that's why a lot of times when we go through these full moons, it seems like they're so harsh and it seems like there's so much pain and there's so much stuff that just needs to be alchemized. And what's really happening is that it's stuff that's already existed. So there's things that have already existed and it's just another level, another layer that we have to see and process and alchemize. With this full moon, for me particularly, and I'm just going to say this just in case anyone else feels this way, that it doesn't feel super heavy. It doesn't feel like we're going through a super heavy jump. It feels like it's lighter. It feels like I'm excited. And I'm usually not ever excited about full moons because they're a lot of work. It's very taxing on the body. There's a lot of stuff going on. So with this one in general, it just feels almost like something new, like something I've never, thank you for confirming that. It feels like something I haven't experienced yet before with some of these cycles. And it feels like we are moving into a new moon cycle. This is what came through today with some messages that I was receiving, is that when you lose time, when you lose the sense of time, The only thing that the human can go off of is whatever is mirroring back to it. So you have the sun, you have the moon, you have seasons like our, spring, fall, winter, whatever. And it does. Roots from within. It does. It feels reborn. It feels like a rebirth of a new cycle. Even in the way that we experience calendar, like our calendar days. Like I feel like we're shifting almost, we're not going backwards. We're just taking the roots, which is funny because that's kind of like the Capricorn energy, right? We're taking the roots and bringing them up to the surface. And that's what it feels like, but not in the way that we're used to, not in the way where it feels like, okay, we're processing old stuff again. We're moving through old stuff again, right? It doesn't feel like that. It feels like we're moving into a new way of cycling, a new way of time, a new way of experiencing life. And it's almost like we're using the moon now in the way that it was intended to be used, which was to help guide us through time. So if the moon is here to show us, okay, if it's at a full, then it's what, at a 28-day cycle? It should be around 28 days. That's the same thing as the feminine cycle, right? It's every 28 days. And a lot of feminines have been experiencing a ton of purging, like sacral chakra purging, bleeding, all of that stuff. And it's been very random. It's been all over the place. It's been not in the cycle that we're used to, right? It's like these cycles are getting all mixed up and supposed to. So what I had realized back in April when my cycle got messed up, it was like a cycle every single week, right? And I'm like, oh, it wasn't just me. It was all these other women as well that were going through this. And I realized that what was happening is that our body was getting tuned back to the natural cycle that it was supposed to be on with time. And so if you're experiencing a lot of these weird cycles happening and stuff just feels a little off, it's because we're trying to recalibrate ourselves with our natural path, like our natural calendar. And this goes for everybody. There's a natural calendar that goes with our bodies, the moon, the cycles, the seasons. It's organic, it's real, and it's the only thing that is real is those cycles. And it helps us as humans to be able to understand our emotions and our mental state, our hormones, all of those different things. You know that I'm going to throw this out there too for the men, that the full moons not only affect the women, but they actually affect testosterone. And so me and my sister used to laugh about this because we'd always say that, oh, it's his time of the month again. Well, that's because it is. It's a cycle. So it's not just that women are going through these cycles, men are going through it as well. And if things have just been feeling off and wonky hormonally, it really is just because we're trying to get back on track. We're trying to get back on an organic cycle. And the only way for us to be able to do that is for it to kind of clunk around until it gets back into the way that it was supposed to be intended to be in anyways, in the first place. It should have been that way. Roots from within. Thank you. If you want to, roots from within, if you want to tell me any symptoms that you've been having since you're engaging a lot about this, I can imagine that you're really feeling a lot of energies, but any symptoms that you've been having, I'm trying to think. I would say this week, so the 17th, the 18th, and the 19th, we had the massive blast. And that's when everybody was messaging me, oh my God, I'm in so much depression. I'm so fed up. I'm so over this. I'm so frustrated. Financially, shit's been hard. Like financially for a lot of people. And it's hard for the star seeds and the light warriors to understand, why do we not feel like we're being supported? Why does it feel like everything is just clunking us around? Well, I received a message the other night, and it might resonate for some of you guys, but my higher self showed me an image, and it was of an angel being rocking a baby. And they said, we will continue to rock you until you realize that you are being nurtured. So we will continue to rock you until you realize that you are being nurtured. And I had to reflect on that. I still am reflecting on that to this day. Solar plexus, I couldn't sleep last week at all. Interesting. I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. Solar plexus. We should probably dive into that a little bit because my husband and I did a chakra opening type of thing the other day with each other. And for me, he said that we use our pendulum and stuff. And he said that my solar plexus wasn't moving as much. And that was interesting to me because I've never actually had a problem with my solar plexus chakra being stagnant. That usually is my strongest chakra system. I mean, over any of the others, other than obviously sometimes our third eye and our crowns are wide open, but our roots are not, like they're not open, right? Because we're not grounded. Oh, cool, Dr. Joe Dispenza. That's awesome. But yeah, he had done them on me, and it wasn't moving as much. So that's interesting that you just brought up the solar plexus. I always gave away my personal power. Yeah, I feel like we all do that. And I also believe that we get really strong and we get really enlightened in the work that we've done on ourselves. And then another thing hits. And we're like, what? I thought I healed this. Like, why am I dealing with this right now? Why am I having to heal this again? And it's not that you're healing it again, it's that you are healing another dimension of that energy. There's multiple different dimensions that we exist in, that you exist in, from low to high. And we have to understand that there's certain things that are happening in different dimensions with our higher selves that we're connected to. And that's fine. Roots from within. I love that. Thank you, because that takes me back to not getting off of track. Let me see what you just said. Personal power. Yeah, personal power. Okay. So you think that you are in your power, and then you get knocked down. And you're like, what the heck? Why do I feel like I'm knocked down? I healed this. I worked so hard to heal this. And what it really is just another layer. And it doesn't even have to be a personal layer. It could be lineage. Like for me, I've been feeling a lot of lineage. I'm like, okay, so Carlie, personal Carlie, human Carlie, healed all of these different levels and layers in the solar chakra at one point, and now it's stagnant or isn't moving as much. And so that tells me that I'm going to have to clear another layer of solar plexus energy, which has to do with identity most of the time, what we identify as, our I am presence. And that's that yellow energy that is, yeah, the healing the ancestral trauma. And what's interesting about healing ancestral trauma is that the only reason why it is ancestral is because it's yours. It's your own. It's your now present moment that you are healing this ancestral trauma. Like you wouldn't be healing ancestral trauma if you weren't in ancestral trauma, right? Because your body is made up of DNA and energy and components that come from ancestry. So yeah, we got to clear those layers out. But blah, 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 we've been doing this for years, right? We have been clearing this energy for years and everybody's over it. And that's what it really feels like. It feels like not a frustrated energy this time. It feels like it's lighter. Like this next moon cycle that we're in right now, this Capricorn full moon, it does feel like personal power. It does feel like strength. Like it gives me chills right now. Thank God. Thank you. Because to me, that's resonation with the message. It's time to change the cycle. And that's what I'm getting. I'm not telling you anything. I'm just expressing the energy that's coming through me that I've experienced personally in my human life and what I've experienced with my own cosmic channel. So the personal power, thank you so much, Roots from Within, for bringing that up, because that was a great mirror for me to understand that it is that identity process that we're working through right now. And as light warriors, and this is also coming through, as light warriors, as we move forward into this new dimension of ourself, we don't know who we are in that dimension. This conscious mind doesn't. The unconscious and subconscious mind does, but this conscious mind doesn't. And so how can we imagine who we are truly when we've never experienced it before like this? We haven't. I've never been Carlie Wall in a higher dimension. Carlie Wall doesn't exist. She exists here right now in the present, but that's it. So if I'm trying to attach my identity to what I know, which to me, what I've known the last few years has been my platforms, really. Like without my platforms, I don't even know how I would have felt supported a lot of the times. And because of my platforms, it's like, yes, I want to be on here because I want to feel connected and I want to be a part of this process with all of you. And I also have to recognize that that may not be my path, but I don't know. So we're all going through this new identity. Who are we? Who do we want to be? And that's what my divine cosmic channel has asked me multiple times is, who do you want to be? What is it that you could ever have dreamed of? It's almost hard to do. It's almost hard to think about what I could have ever dreamed. Who would you be if you could imagine it right now? Because the only thing that exists in the future is because of your imagination. And the only thing that exists that's the past is just because of your memory. So if what we want to be right now is in this present moment, who do I want to be? Well, I'm inside of a body. My name is Carlie Wall inside of this body. I'm a musician. I have a lot of talents. I'm really good at talking with people and being a divine channel. But who do I want to be past that? I want to be shown. I want to be shown who I want to be beyond that. And I think that's what we're starting to get to with these new cycles is instead of showing us memory, show us imagination, right? I want to be shown imagination. In fact, I even went in yesterday, intentionally went into meditation and said, I want to be shown creativity that I've never experienced before. I want the floodlights of God to open up my mind and bring another dimension of who human Carlie is so I can incorporate that aspect into my reality. And I'm saying this hoping that it's going to resonate for others as well. Thank you for sharing your gifts. And thank you guys for being on here. I'm actually shocked that I'm talking right now with no rain. It has been pouring rain for hours and it's too loud in here. And I just got a small little window and decided to come on. So thank you guys for being on here with me. TikTok, thank you guys for being on here with me. I've never actually gone live on TikTok before. I do it on Instagram all the time. Tamara, thank you. So thank you, TikTok, for being on with me. But I am live on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram right now. I did just decide to start doing sessions again. So if anyone is interested in working with me, what I do is I tap into your energy with your consent and I allow you, your higher self, to come through me. And I allow me to mirror back to you what you need to see, what you will allow yourself to see, what your higher self will allow you to see. A lot of us aren't allowed to see a lot of things for a reason. So I did open that back up. All you have to do is just send me a message. I will put you on the schedule. And I do light language transmissions. I'm doing one-on-one coaching. Coaching as in it's you talking to you. That's what I mean by coaching. It's you talking to yourself. So thank you guys for being on tonight. I appreciate you all. I know it's only been probably 10 or 15 minutes, but I don't want it to start storming. So I'm going to be getting off in just a second. Oh, wow. It's been 20 minutes. Holy moly. Anyways, Capricorn full moon, you guys, we got this. We are the GOATs. We are the greatest of all time. And we are seriously going to rock this next dimension that we are in. And we're only going to be able to do it because of each other. So I love you. I'm getting off. You guys have a good night. And I will talk to you tomorrow.